Direwolf.
I didn't.
You
Our
guys.
team, our incredible team, made 3 direwolves so far.
Let's see the photos. Jamie, bust out some photos. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself because this is truly fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's the pup.
Yeah, so this is so that's actually Romulus. We have 2 boys, Romulus and Remus, founders of Rome, and then we have Khaleesi, who's the new girl. So this is Romulus and Remus. So funny story about this. So Peter Jackson from Lord of the Rings,
Jamie.
Peter Jackson from Lord of the Rings was actually one of our investors, and he has
That's
this
crazy.
huge museum in Wellington that he's building for all these movie props. And he's like, I was sitting in Peter's house with he and his partner Fran, and I was like, I showed him the video of them howling. He started tearing up. He goes, "This is the first time I've heard a direwolf, or anyone's heard a direwolf in 10,000 years." He physically, emotionally got chills and started crying.
Imagine that you're hanging out with Peter Jackson and he's crying because he just heard the sound of a direwolf howling that no one's heard for 10,000 years. What? Dude, surreal moment that guy probably had. Absolutely surreal moment. Like, that's crazy, dude.
And then he's like, "Well, I do have the throne." I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I bought the throne last week at auction, at a private auction from like Sotheby's or someone, right?" And so he did, and it just happened to be where the wolves were doing their vet checkup. Like, talk about cosmic coincidence, incredible, right? And
That's crazy.
What you don't see in this photo is you don't see the fact that we have American Humane Society there. We had 3 veterinary people. We had 6 people from our animal care
When you
team.
say checkup, you don't vaccinate these little guys, do you?
They do get because of viruses from that they can get from the soil. At 8 weeks, they do get basic virus. They do get basic vaccines.
Oh, were you concerned about that? I mean, you have this animal that you're just
Yeah, so these are staying on. These are not going back into the wild, right?
Right, not yet.
Right now, they're on a 2,000 acre secure, expansive ecological preserve with 24/7 care. We have an animal hospital that we built.
Wow.
People always are like, "You guys raise so much money," and I was like, "Well, because we didn't just spend it on the labs. You have to spend it on the animal care, the facilities, and whatnot."
Let's see the photo of the actual grown ones because they're fucking nuts.
So this is Romulus and Remus playing in the snow on the preserve when they are 3 months old.
So
this
3 months, how big?
Dude, that is only 3 months old. That's crazy, dude. They're already so big.
Are they?
3 months, they were north of 45 pounds.
Wow.
So,
Look at that face. God, they're so beautiful.
they just get like as they've aged, they've just got more and more beautiful.
So let's go to the adults because the adults have crazy characteristics that
so-
you were saying that you didn't even know they were
We
gonna have.
didn't know, right? And so we ended up getting a.
Is this a full-grown one?
No, they're still 5 months old, so they're 80 pounds at 5 months. So
Oh my
wolves
God.
typically grow 12 to 14 months, so they're not full grown yet.
Wow. And how big is it already?
80 pounds, about 5.5 feet.
In 5
the
months.
mane.
Yeah, and so a couple things about the wolves, Jamie. If you go back, so we didn't know this, right? We knew that they were a Pleistocene wolf. We knew that they existed and went extinct about 12,000 years ago, when a lot of megafauna went extinct, like during kind of that younger dry period, kind of cooling period. They went extinct as well, right? And we knew all we know because all we have is we don't have frozen direwolves or frozen samples. We literally just know from skeletal remains that they were 20 to 25% larger. They were stockier. They probably weren't as fast based on kind of their body weight as a normal wolf would be. But we knew that they had thicker skulls, a larger cranium, and whatnot. And we assumed that and we did find this out in the genome, which is pretty cool.
That's so crazy that we only know direwolves from a skeleton remains. And this is the first time that we're actually seeing what they look like. That's so crazy. All I can think about is like all we know of dinosaurs is skeletal remains, but we don't know what they look like. Like all those visions of dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, we don't actually know. I mean, they say that they had feathers, even though the movie said they had scales. We don't actually know, you know?
cool that they were white, because there's like this misconception for a while that they were red because some scientists wanted to make a paper and assume that they were red so they get their paper.
Doesn't it make sense for natural selection? I mean, they're an Arctic hunting animal.
Yeah, and they have this beautiful, we didn't know this, they have this beautiful like mane-like quality to them. And when they're babies, you saw a couple of pictures, their fur almost feels like polar bears. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's
so
cool.
like polar bears and it's hollow, or is it not?
Yeah, it's not. It's like typical wolves, but it's incredibly thick. It grows in kind of these clumps. But then as they've grown in, they've started to get this kind of like mane to them, which is incredible.
The females as well?
Well, the female, she's only 6 weeks old, so it's too soon to tell. So if you keep going through a couple other photos, yeah, I mean they're just beautiful. And I mean, it's funny. Someone actually said they on our team was like, they almost look like Shetland pony wolves at some point, right?
Right. They're so stocky.
They're stocky. They're thicker. They are. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful. So this is Khaleesi.
I want one.
So who looks like a baby.
I want one.
And we nailed it. We named her.
Can we hear it? Let me hear.
We named Khaleesi for George R. R. Martin, obviously.
Obviously.
Who's an investor in Colossal.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So cute.
Nature's cute little murderers.
Well, everything in nature murders something, right?
Yeah.
Like we murder.
Well, cows murder grass.
Yeah. And people are now saying you can hear grass and other plants like scream now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they scream.
yeah. So I guess we all are bad. So.
Life eats life. This is I mean, that's the reason why plants have chemicals to dissuade us from eating them. What are they eating there?
So they love to chew on horns in this state. So we have different phases of, we built a 145-page animal guide. These are actually different horns from different elk and other species that we're putting out there.
And they chew on it like
they just love
like
them.
a dog does.
Like a dog does, right?
So are you letting these animals kill things, or are you feeding them?
So we're feeding them still. So they eat a combination of bison meat, horse meat, and
do you plan on letting them kill things?
So we're
eventually?
just about to introduce carcasses to them. So giving them part of a carcass, letting them feed, building in that dynamic between the two brothers for now, and then and they are starting to exhibit some hunting behavior.
Are you going to let them hunt?
I mean, they're on it. They are on a seemingly wild 2,000-acre
You gotta let them hunt, man.
preserve with just them, so they do have the ability to hunt on that preserve. But they're not doing it. They're starting to exhibit the original, the first inklings that it will trend toward that. But we want them to live. We want them, and we're going to probably make 2 or 3 more. We want a solid little social pack that we can monitor, that can live a seemingly wild life, that we can understand more about them.
Wow.
It's cool. But the other thing that's equally cool to it, going back to the Red Wolf story, can you...
What's just crazy to me that you have reignited these 10,000-year-old hunting genes.
Yeah.
That they're starting to
including
exhibit.
size. We understand more about, like, we looked at what genes made really a direwolf, like what was separated. And the beautiful thing for us is that we had a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 73,000-year-old skull, so we could actually understand the genetic distance. With that much genetic distance between them, we could actually understand what truly was fixed and conserved in the direwolf genome, and what wasn't just population genomics, right? If you and I are 50,000 years apart, there's a lot of different mutations in that time period. But if we can then really say, okay, what made Ben and what made Joe. Oh, here's the overlaps. It allowed us to really understand that, which is pretty awesome.
That's crazy.
It's fascinating that the behavior characteristics are kind of baked into those genes, and they just were dormant for 10,000 years, and now these things are waking up.
And so I was.
That's the rest of the video. That is just amazing. I honestly love it. I can't wait to continue to follow this story and see what they are like more than 5 months. I mean, they're actually huge with 5 months. The fact that they have like manes and stuff, they really do look like the wolves in Game of Thrones. Man, this is gonna be so exciting to follow this and to like see them growing up and see them like doing all, especially like when the girl dire wolf actually grows up too, and like they're all just like coexisting in there. Oh man, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This is just incredible, absolutely incredible. I'll catch you next video.